So now we will see, okay, so what is checked exception, what is unchecked exceptions. Okay, so these are very, very, very important, guys. See, just now we discussed, right? What is an exception, what is an error. Even sometimes people may ask, okay, hierarchy of exception. Okay, what is the root class for exception hierarchy? Okay, and may people will ask, what is the child classes for this IO exception? So like that people will ask, why, you know? So if you are real time, if you are working an employee, okay, so if you have good touch in Java, so definitely you should know. Okay. So what is the child class for these exceptions and all you should know, because what day to day we have to handle with all these exceptions. So that's what people may ask you guys. If you put, let's suppose 2 years, 3 years of experience. Okay. If you put experience and if you go for interview, definitely people will ask you. Not only experience, even freshers also people will may ask you. Okay. Very, very important. Even this exception. So the exceptions, why the exceptions are raising, understand? So which are causing to raise exceptions, understand? Why the errors are raising, when will be the errors will raise, so which are the causing for raising error, like that people may ask you. Okay, you have to tell, okay, each and every point. Fine.
Yeah,
So now
fine.
first we will see what is checked exception, what is unchecked exception. So this is also very, 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 very important, guys. Okay. Without asking this question, okay, there is no core Java interview. That much important this question. Okay. So let me write what is checked exception, what is unchecked exception. So now we will see what is checked exception. Okay, come on everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. So now
Yes,
we will see, guys, why what is checked exception. Okay. Now the exceptions, okay, the exceptions, listen carefully, guys. Checked exception. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exceptions. Okay. Listen carefully. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exception. Let me write this point, then we'll discuss in detail. Okay?
Huh?
The exceptions which are
Sayanthram class.
checked by the compiler,
Huh? 7 to 9.
by the compiler, okay, for smooth execution of the program, for smooth execution of the program at runtime. Okay, are called what, guys? Checked exceptions. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what, guys? Checked exceptions. Okay, let me clear one more time. Even it is a checked exception or unchecked exception or error, at what time these are coming, guys? At what time these are occurring, guys? At runtime only. Okay, there is no point of at compile time. Okay, everyone clear on that? So now what is the checked exceptions means? The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exceptions. Okay. So let me explain you. And let me take one real world example. Let's suppose, okay, so you are going for one competitive exam or else, okay, any exam, guys. Let's suppose group 1 or group 2 exam. Okay, so now okay, so now we are going for what, guys? Okay, group 1 or group 2 exam. So I think so in that what do you call in that hall, right, the examination center, so definitely the security people will be there, right, in the front of the door. So now I think once you enter into that hall, the security people, they will ask you, please show your ID card. So definitely you have to go out before half an hour or 1 hour, right? So So now security guy, the people will ask you, please show me your hall ticket. Why they will ask? If you don't have any hall ticket at the time of examination, the invigilator, they will not allow you. Am I right or wrong? Come on, right? So now the security wise is checking. So if you have hall ticket, then it's fine. Understand? So if you don't, you will not face any issue yet while writing examination. I mean, while entering into the main examination hall. Okay. So in front of invigilator, you will write your examination. If you don't have hall ticket, definitely what your invigilator will stop you. Am I right or wrong? So
Yes.
to solve that issue, to prevent that issue, the security guy will ask you, please show me your hall ticket. Okay. If you show your hall ticket, then it's fine. So before, okay, checking at invigilator, at security level only is the guy is checking, guys. Why? For smooth execution of the program at runtime. Here see, security is what? Compiler. Understand? Invigilator is what, guys? Runtime. Okay, please coordinate. Here security is what, guys? Compiler.
Compiler.
Understand? Invigilator what, guys? Runtime. So actually, at invigilator, he will ask you, okay, show me your hall ticket. If you are not having hall ticket, definitely what? Invigilator will not allow you to write the exam. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But before that, I think definitely everyone has to attend that examination before half an hour or 1 hour. Right? So if you are not carrying that hall ticket, the security will ask you, if you are not carrying that hall ticket, what security will tell? Okay, please go and bring your hall ticket. Okay, anyway, we have half an hour, 1 hour time, right? So by that time, maybe you go and you can bring your hall ticket and you can write the exam. So here what? Actually, what is the purpose here? You have to write the exam, the group 1 exam or group 2 exam, right? So in order to write the exam, what is mandatory here? Hall ticket is mandatory. If you are not carry that hall ticket, you will not, okay, the people will not allow you to write the exam. Come on. Clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. In the same way, so pen not working exception, let's suppose. So you have to carry what? Your pen. So while writing exam, if your pen is not working, then what will happen? Everything will be gone. Am I right or wrong? So that's why what we will do, guys, before going to examination, we will check my pen is working or not. Am I right or wrong? So these are what we are checking. Okay. Before writing examination, we are checking. Why? For smooth execution of the program at runtime. Okay. So hall ticket exception, pen not working exception. Understand? These are what, guys? Checked exceptions. Come on.
Yes.
Okay. So here see, why we are here, security is what, guys? Compile time. Invigilator is what, guys? Runtime. Okay. So now here security is checking. Okay. This guy is carrying hall ticket or not. If he is carrying, then fine. Invigilator will not stop him. Okay. So if he is not carry the hall ticket, definitely invigilator will stop. Right. So now what we are doing now? We are checking. Okay. Here. Here we are checking the hall ticket for smooth execution of the examination. Understand? So why we are checking? The sake of student only, the security checking. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay. In the same time, right? So you can apply the same thing into our program, guys. So here, what is checked exceptions? You know, the exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called checked exceptions. Okay. So the checked exceptions, who will checking, guys? Compiler will check first. At the compile time only, the checked exceptions are checked by the compiler. Why this compiler is checking? For smooth execution of the program at runtime. If anything goes wrong, at compile time only it will stop. Hey boss, you are doing some mistake here. Please do. Otherwise, you may end up with, okay, runtime exception while executing the program. Am I right or wrong? Please correlate with security and invigilator. Understand? If
Yeah.
your security is not checking, definitely you will caught at what time? At invigilator. In front of invigilator, you will caught. So by that time, there is no time. Right? Already examination started. Right? So invigilator will send you out. Okay. If security is not there. So here what? If security is available, security will check. If you have a hall ticket, then it's fine. He will allow. If you don't have a hall ticket, there itself security will stop you and please go and bring your hall ticket. Understand?
Yes.
So why is checking? For your sake only. Come on. In
Yeah.
Java means we have two steps, right? Compiler and interpreted program. Come on, please. Okay, go and remember that classes, guys. Java features we have discussed, right? Java is what? Compiler and interpreted program, right? So now here the exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime is called what? Checked exceptions. The compiler, what kind of exceptions compiler will check, guys? Only checked exceptions compiler can check. Understand?
Yes,
Come on.
sir.
Okay. So here compiler is taking responsibility to check checked exceptions, guys. Let's suppose in our Java program, there is a checked exception. Okay. There is a checked exception. There is a might be, okay, causing or raising checked exceptions at runtime. There is a chance. So by that time, what compiler will do? Okay. So in this Java program, there is a chance of raising exception at runtime. Okay. So definitely, let me check whether this guy is handling exception logic or not. Understand? Whether this guy is writing exception handling logic or not. Who will check? Compiler will check. Okay. If you have exception handling logic, then it's fine. He will allow. But if you are not writing any exception handling logic and the piece of code causing raising checked exception at runtime, maybe chance of okay getting exception at runtime. So by that time, compiler will stop you. Compiler will not allow you. Hey boss, okay, hands up. There is a mistake in your program. Understand? Please resolve this. Here there is a checked exception. You are not handling any exception handling logic here. There may be a chance of raising exception at runtime. So like that what compiler will check you and will stop you, guys. It will not allow you to, it will not allow you for that program at runtime. Clear everyone? What is
Yes,
checked
sir.
exception means?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exceptions. Okay. So now
Yeah.
let's suppose file not found exception we have. Okay. So in our Java program, we are writing. Okay. We are writing in our Java program. We are writing to locate what, guys? I think already we discussed it, right? In Hyderabad, there is a server machine. So there we have what? Water list file. So we need to read that file. Okay. So for reading that file, just we are going to write what? One Java code. So we will open file input stream. We will create file input stream object. And by using file input stream object, we are passing what? The location of the path. Okay. Where this water list file is available. Am I right or wrong? So now by seeing this code, who will do first? Yes. Finally, we will write one Java program, guys. Okay. Finally, we will write what? One Java program. Okay. So let me write here some example. Let's suppose I am writing one class. Okay, class test, something. So in the class test, here, what I'm writing, guys. Okay, like this, we have few lines of code. So these lines of code is all about, okay, locating, okay, locating file. Understand? Locating file, which is available in Hyderabad server machine. Okay. Fine. So like this, we have writing one code, guys. Okay. So like this, we are writing few lines of code. So now, after writing one Java pro, this let's assume this is one Java program. Okay. So what is this Java program, guys? We have to read the file which is available in Hyderabad server machine. And Hyderabad city, there is a server machine. In that server machine, we have a file. Okay, water list file. So we need to read that file, and after reading that file, we need to process something. Okay, there is a requirement. So finally, we have written what? One Java application. Okay. Now, so here what? These lines of code we have written, right? So now after writing the Java program, who will do now? Compiler has to come into the picture. Compiler has to compile your Java program. Am I right or wrong? After compilation only, you will get what? Bytecode. Come on. Okay, dot class file. So now, while compilation, compiler will check. Okay, yeah, these lines of code, compiler will look. I think these lines of code related to locating a file which is available in some server machine. Let's assume if that file is not available, there may be a chance of raising what exception. If file is available, then it's fine. There is no exception. Am I right or wrong? If file is not available, somehow someone is deleted that file which is available in that particular path. So here we have given one path, right? So let's suppose in Hyderabad based C drive, so there is a water list folder. So there is a file called, okay, there is a file called what? Hyderabad waterlist.xls. Excel. This is the file. So somehow that file is deleted someone. Understand? So what will happen now? You will get what? While executing the program, you will get what? File not found exception. Right? Come on. File not found exception you will get. Right? So by reading these lines, compiler will understand. Oh, I think he is writing the code by locating the file, and he wants to read the file from this particular path. So somehow at runtime, maybe if that file is not available, if someone is deleted that file, or maybe if that file is not available in that particular path, definitely there may be a chance of what? Raising file not found exception. Am I right or wrong? There may be a chance of raising what? File not found exception. Okay. So, okay, let me see whether this guy handling this exception or not by writing exception handling logic. Okay, compiler will check, guys. If exception handling logic is not there, understand? Come on, can you understand what I'm saying here? Listening? Yeah. So now
Yes, sir.
there may be a chance of what? Exception. So after that, immediately compiler what it will do? It will check, okay, do we have any exception handling logic or not? I know you don't know anything about what is exception handling logic and all. Okay, we will discuss, guys. Okay, just listen as of now. So do we have any exception handling logic or not? Like that, who will verify, guys? Compiler will verify in that program. If there is no exception handling logic, so then definitely what? You may end up with what, guys? Exception. At what time? Runtime. If any exception is raised means what will happen? Program will be terminated abnormally, right? You will end up with what? Lot of console errors. Okay, so what the end user will treat after seeing all these technical errors? End user is not a technical guy. He's a layman. He don't know anything about technical. Am I right or wrong? So definitely he will, okay, he felt bad. Come on, guys. Okay. So now what we have to do? So definitely there may be a chance of what? Bad remark on us. So that's why compiler will stop over there. Okay. It won't allow you to at runtime. Clear, everyone? So these kind of exceptions are called what, guys? Checked exceptions. Okay. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler. Okay. See, here I have written, right? The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exceptions. Compiler will help you to smooth execution of the program at runtime. Okay. So here most of the people are what saying? Compile time exceptions and runtime exception. There is no term called compile time exceptions, guys. all the exceptions are okay raised at runtime only. There is no term called compile time exceptions. So most of the people are saying what? There is a compile time exceptions and runtime exceptions. Okay, exception means runtime. Okay, there is no term called compile time exception. Clear, everyone?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I mean, most of the people, what is the difference between checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions means I saw, okay, even I went to interview, right? So that time, most of the people are saying, no, checked exceptions are at compile time exception, unchecked exceptions are runtime exception. That is blunder mistake, guys. Okay, there is no term called compile time exceptions. Okay, here checked exception means what? The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exception. Okay,
Okay.
hope you people clear about what is checked exception.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now here let me write one small example. Okay, let me take class test, guys. In the class test, we have what? Public static void main method, PSVM. Fine. Now string args we have. Okay, here I'm writing what? Print writer PW is equal to new print writer. Okay, here in C, okay, so there is a water list, water list folder. In that, there is a abc.txt file we have. Let's assume, guys. Okay. After that, what? pw.println. Something I'm printing what? Hello. Okay. Understand, guys? So like this. So now, okay. So now, what will happen? See here in the public static void main method. So the print writer PW is equal to new print writer, and we are pointing what? One file, which is available in what? C drive
Also,
under water list folder. There is a abc.txt. So we are asking our Java program, hey Java program, please locate the file which is available under C drive water list. There is a file called abc.txt. Okay. So now this is the Java program, right? So now if you give to this program to compiler, compiler will verify. Okay. So compiler will verify, right? For smooth
yeah.
execution of the program at runtime. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
I think
Yes.
already you know what compiler will do, right? So now we have discussed, right, in detail that time. So now here what compiler will check? I think this print writer PW is equal new print writer. This is something related to locating the file. Okay. So maybe there is a chance of raising exception at runtime. So let me check whether this guy is handling exception handling logic or not. So are we writing any exception handling logic here? We don't.
No.
We did not
No.
write any exception handling logic. So compiler what it will verify? Hey, by I think this is okay. Definitely there may be a chance of raising an exception at runtime. Let me stop now. Okay. Compiler will stop. Compiler will raise what, guys? One compile time error. So what is the compile time error? It will raise unreported exception java.io. File not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. Understand? So like this, it will throw on compile time error. What is the compile time error? Unreported exception java.io. Okay, file not found exception. File not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. Okay, so like that, you will see what, guys? compile time error. Okay, this is not compile time exception. At compile time, it will throw compile time error, guys, if you are not handling checked exceptions. Understand? If you are not handling checked exceptions, okay, in your code, compiler, okay, compiler will check, but compiler will throw compile time error. Why? For smooth execution of the program at runtime. So these kind of exceptions are called what, guys? Checked exceptions. Come on.
Yeah.
Clear?
Clear.
Okay. So the exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked exception. Okay. So compiler will check whether we are handling checked exceptions or not. If you are not handling, then we will get what? Compile time error. So the below error. Okay. Hope you people understood what is checked exceptions.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let me write then. Want me to write Java application? The same program can you write? You will see. Exception handling, right? So let me save this file as checked exception.
Okay.
No. Java C.
Checked exception dot java.
Checked exception dot Java. See? Can you see now?
Yes,
What is the
sir.
compile time error it is throwing? Unreported exception,
Unreported
file not
exception,
file
file
not
not
found
found.
exception. Okay, must be caught or declared to be thrown. Print writer pw is equal to new print writer abc.txt. Okay, so now at what time we are getting this compile time error? Compile time. Okay, so here the line number 6, right? The line number 6, the code what we have written, it is causing what, guys? It may throw, right? It may throw checked exception, right, at compile time. Sorry, at runtime. It may throw exception at runtime. Okay, that is the line. So now compile time, what it is checking? Okay, so before execution of the program, compile time will verify, right, each and every line what we have written. Okay, so while checking, compiler will see at line number 6. I think this line may be chance of raising exception at runtime. Okay, let me check whether this guy is handling this exception or not by using try and catch block or throws keyword. But we are not writing any exception handling logic. So that's why compiler will not allow you this program at runtime, guys. At compile time only it will throw error. Hey boss, unreported exception, file not found exception. You are not reporting any file not found exception here. Must be caught or declared to be thrown. See here, must be caught or declared to be thrown. You have to handle this exception. Understand, guys? You should handle this exception. Otherwise, you may end up with what? Exception at runtime. So that's what this compile time is what? At compile time only, these exceptions are checking. So that's what these are what? Checked exceptions. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler, okay, for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what, guys? Checked exceptions. Here what file not found exception is what? What kind of exception it is? Checked exception. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine,
Clear.
guys. This is what, guys, checked exceptions. So what is unchecked exceptions, guys? Then the exceptions which are not checked by the compiler, whether the programmer handling are not, called what? Unchecked exceptions. Okay, so now let me go to above hierarchy. Here if you see in this hierarchy, so what are the checked exceptions, guys? Here what are the classes for checked exceptions? Okay, see, exception.
Fine.
Exception is class we have, right? This exception class also checked exception. Okay, and IO exception, see, other than runtime exception in its child classes, Remaining all classes are checked exceptions, guys. Understand? In this our exception hierarchy, other than runtime exception and its child classes, remaining all classes are what? Checked exceptions. So what are the remaining all classes? Exception class. Exception class is checked exception or unchecked exception? Checked exception. IO exception and its child classes. These are also what, guys? Checked exceptions. Servlet exception. This is also what, guys? Checked exception. Interrupted exception. This is also what, guys? Checked exception. Understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only runtime exception and its child classes are not checked exceptions. So remaining all other classes are what, guys? Part of checked exceptions. So here highway exception, input output exception, right? End of the file exception, file not found exception, interrupted IO exception, right? So these are what? Checked exceptions. If any code you have written related to these kind of exceptions, it may occur at runtime. So those exceptions you have to handle those kind of exceptions. Otherwise, at compile time only you will get what? Checked exceptions. I mean, at compile time only you will get what? Compile time error. It will not allow you to write execution of that particular program at runtime. Clear, everyone? So now, what are the checked exceptions, guys? Here, Java dot. Tell me. Java dot lang dot exception class also checked exception class. Java dot lang dot IO exception also checked exception. End of the file exception also checked exception. File not found exception. Interrupted IO exception and interrupted exception. Servlet exception. These are what, guys? Checked exceptions. Okay. These are what, guys? Checked exceptions. If anything, any code related to checked exceptions, okay, you have written your Java program, you should handle those exceptions by writing manually either try or catch or throws keyword. You have to write what? Exception handling logic. We will see, guys, how to write exception handling logic. We will see. Okay. So hope you people clear on what is checked exception. Now coming to unchecked exception. So the exceptions which are not checked by the compiler, whether the programmer handling or not, are called what? Unchecked exceptions, guys. Understand? The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime is called checked exception. But while coming to unchecked exception, the compiler will not check, guys. The exceptions which are not checked by the compiler, whether the programmer handling or not, are called unchecked exceptions. So why the compiler is checking? If it is checked exception means what? It will check whether the programmer is handling exception handling logic or not. Understand? So, but while coming to unchecked exceptions, compiler will not check any unchecked exceptions, guys. Okay, compiler will not verify any exception handling logic for unchecked exceptions. Clear? The
Yes,
exceptions
sir.
which are not checked by the compiler, whether the programmer handling are not, called what? Unchecked exceptions. Okay. So compiler also don't know anything about it. Maybe they will get what? Exceptions at runtime. Compiler also don't know any information, guys, prior to that. So let's suppose bomb blast exception. Do you know when the bomb will be blast? We don't know, right? All of a sudden it will happen. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, while driving, okay, you are in the, while driving a car or while driving a bike, all of a sudden your tire got punctured. So do we know when the tire will get punctured? We don't know. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so who is doing now? Driver is doing. Even driver also don't know anything about when the tire will puncture. Okay, so these kind of exceptions are what, guys? Unchecked exceptions. So null pointer exception. For the null pointer exception also we don't know, right? When the null pointer exception will know. When the null pointer exception will know. When the null pointer exception will get, guys. If you're calling any method or any variable, right? So let's suppose we have one variable. So by using that variable, object reference variable, let's suppose we have instance reference variable, object reference variable. By using that object reference variable, we are calling one method. Okay. So that reference variable holding what? Null value. by using null, if you call any method or any variable, if you try to access any variable, what we will get? Null pointer exception.
Null
Come on, remember already we discussed, guys,
Yes.
right? So we don't know when this value will be null. Okay, so this value coming from database. Understand? Don't know when the value will become null. So that's what, these are what, guys, unchecked exceptions. Okay, the exceptions which are not checked by the compiler, whether the programmer handling or not, are called what? Unchecked exceptions. Okay, so what are those unchecked exceptions, guys? Runtime exception and all its child classes are comes under unchecked exceptions. Understand? In our exception hierarchy, runtime exception and its child classes are comes under what? Unchecked exceptions. Okay, example, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, cast exception. These exceptions are comes under what, guys? Unchecked exceptions. Clear, everyone? Whether the exception is checked or unchecked, compulsory, every exception should occur at runtime only. Okay, there is no chance of occurring at exception at compile time. Okay, now runtime exception and its child classes, error and its child classes are unchecked, except these are the remaining all are checked exception. Clear? What is checked
Yes,
exception?
sir.
What is unchecked exception? So in this hierarchy also, runtime exception and its child classes, guys. These are runtime exception and its child classes, and error and its child classes. These are comes under what? Unchecked exception. So
Unchecked.
remaining all the exception classes, what we have in our exception hierarchy comes under where, guys? Checked exception. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So only checked exception will be checked by the compiler, guys, at compile time. For unchecked exceptions, compiler will not check at compile time. That's what we have to clear. Okay, so let me write one small example here. See here, print writer, PW, print writer we have, right? Let me comment this one. So these are what? Checked exception, right? Checked exception related code. So now I'm writing, so system dot out dot println. Here what? Just I'm writing what? 10 divided by 0. Okay, 10 divided by 0. I'm saving. Now Java C. See, comparison successfully or not?
Yes, sir.
So here 10 divided
Yes,
by
sir.
0 what?
Arithmetic exception.
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic
Runtime
exception. So arithmetic exception comes under where? Runtime
Runtime.
exception. Child class for runtime exception, right? So all runtime exception and its child classes comes under where? Unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions will be checked by the compiler or not? Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Right?
No, sir.
Yeah, compiler will not verify. I mean exceptions.
Unchecked.
Okay, compiler will check only what? Checked exceptions
Checked
at compile time.
exceptions.
Okay,
Yes,
if you are not handling checked exceptions, then compiler will throw a compile time error. But unchecked exceptions, compiler will not verify it at compile time. So that's what here see, compiler will pass. So now if you execute this program, you will get what? Java, right? Java, what is the class name? Checked exception, huh?
Checked exception demo.
Checked exception demo.
Arithmetic exception. We'll get
Checked exception demo. So now you will see what? Exception.
arithmetic exception.
At runtime, you will let java.lang arithmetic exception, right? Name of the exception, description of the exception, and stack trace of the exception. Right? In previous class, we have discussed, right? The default exception
Yes,
handler
sir.
and everything.
Yes, sir.
So now, see now, here you have to understand one thing. The exceptions which are checked by the compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called what? Checked
Checked
exception.
exception.
Okay, so only compiler will verify checked exceptions at compile time, right? So it will verify whether the programmer is handling exception handling logic or not. If you are not handling, then compiler will throw what, guys? Compile time error. Okay. Now, in our exception hierarchy classes, okay, what are the checked exception classes, guys? Runtime exception and its child classes, and error and its child classes. These classes are comes under where? Unchecked exception.
Unchecked exceptions.
Remaining all other classes comes under where? Checked
Checked
exceptions.
exceptions.
Checked exceptions.
Okay. Now coming to unchecked exceptions. The exceptions which are not checked by the compiler, okay, which are not checked by the compiler, and it will not check, compiler will not verify any exception handling logic has been written in that program or not. Okay. So those kind of exceptions are called what? Unchecked exceptions. Right. So what are the unchecked exceptions, guys? The runtime class and its child classes,
Another.
error and its
Another.
child classes are comes
Comes
under
under
what? Unchecked
Unchecked
exceptions.
exceptions.
Okay. So clear, everyone? So even whether it is a checked exception, whether it is an unchecked exception, okay, all the exceptions are raised at runtime. So there is no point of raising at exceptions at compile time.
Compile time.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.